honey house. Max on crooked, swinging loud, let the marchers shout and the snow fall down. We got honey on the floor and a beat in this town. When the bees hit the walls, let the jars all shake. If the bridge is booming, that's a backbeat break. Fasnacht's running wild outside the house, but the swing's even sweeter in the honey house. Found that key in a flower pot, just like they said. Turned the lock once, pushed in with my head. Shells full of honey, bumblebees askew. A candle wax dripping where the bees once flew. Somebody dragged in a sax and a beat-up amp. Ran a cable past the please no stamp. Stamp parades on the street, but we got our own crowd. Crammed in close, laughing, playing too loud. We're having a party at the honey house. House mass on crooked, swinging loud, let the marchers shout and the snow fall down. We got honey on the floor and a beat in this town. When the bees hit the walls, let the jars all shake. If the bridge is booming, that's our backbeat break. Fast, it's running wild outside the house, but the swing's even sweeter in the honey house. Out on the bridge, they're banging on drums. Robots chanting where parade line comes. Rat-hats croak in the muddy street. Super mutants stomp with those heavy feet. But in the honey house, it's shoulder to shoulder. Warm little pocket getting bolder and bolder. Skull mask laughing with a sunburst owl. Spinning past shelves while the honeybees howl. Did you light the bonfire? Not yet, dear. I've got beeswax on my shoes and beer. Who's watching old man winter burn? Crack the door, if we see sparks, we'll take a turn. Candles in bottles on the window ledge. Lantern glow catching every sticky edge. A jar tips over when the bass hits hard. Honey slick trails on the worn wood yard. Someone slides, laughs, grabs my hand. We spin in a circle to the little shop band. If the world melts down when the record drops, we'll just stir it all into the honey house hops. Monsters roar and the rifles crack. Our feet keep the rhythm that the bombs can't black. When they burn old man winter and the night winds rouse, we'll still be swinging in the honey house. Fasnacht screams through a broken town's heart, but in this little honey shop the world restarts. Parades out there, but the real festival, yeah, it's in here. 10 beeswax, please, says the candle maker boss. White chalices shining in the same old spot. We got mass and drums and a winter to burn, but he won't leave the counter till the bees all churn. 10 beeswax, please, in that flat, sweet tone. No bees, no lights, no bonfire glow. We laugh and we grumble, but we know what it means. Fasnacht starts when we pay the candle maker's fee. He's tucked behind the counter in the post office store. Candles on his dome like a crown of war. To commence parade, I must kindly insist. You fetch me beeswax, he reads from a list. We've heard this line every bomb marked year. Same bright voice in the same old gear. Toothy man mask once, now a random face. But the beeswax quota never leaves its place. 10 beeswax, please, says the candle maker by. White chassis shining in the same old spot. We got mast and drums and a winter to burn, but he won't leave the counter till the bees all churn. 10 beeswax, please, in that flat, sweet tone. No bees, no lights, no bonfire glow. We sigh and we shoulder our guns with a tease. Hold that thought, old friend, we'll go bother the bees. Down to honey house through the cold thin air, past sagging streamers and a one-eyed bear. Hives by the fence hum low then loud. Honey beasts roaring like an angry crowd. We stomp in the snow, keep the singers at bay. Scooping comb by lantern spray. Is that 8, is that 9? Check the sack again, please. You know we'll count twice that particular tea. Be advised, sized, quantity insufficient. Yeah, I know you want 10, not efficient. Please return with additional beeswax samples. Somewhere out there a programmer is giggling in shambles. March back up to the post office door, boots full of snow, arms sticky and sore. He scans a sack with a candlelit gleam, sensors hum like a quiet machine dream. Requirement commencing cheer, and just like that, Fasnacht feels here. He rolls from the counter with a wobble and wear. Our one stupid errand just lit up the year. 10 beeswax, please, says the candle maker bot. We laugh every time, but we like him a lot. Now the marches line up and the drum lines turn, and Old Man Winter's got his bonfire burned. 10 beeswax, please, it's the tax we pay for a little more light in a bomb burn day, in a world gone cold and a town half free. Fasnacht starts with a protectrons, please. 10 beeswax, please, and have a very happy Fasnacht.
A dozen for the butcher, drop 'em in the ice. 12 little reasons that the sausage tastes nice. He won't leave the doorway till the count comes clean. Red paint shining in the kitchen steam. A dozen for the butcher, cool a lid down. No guts, no grill, no parade through town. If you want that bonfire, better pay his fee. 12 in the box and a march happy down by the Red Hotel. First floor hall, there's a saw blade hand and a cheerful draw. Park in front of the kitchen like a health coach sin. Yellow highlights say please deposit parts within. He had a witch mask once, grinning over that jaw. Now it's some new face over the same old soft. Fasnacht spread incomplete in the bright flat tone. Required well the test and do not march alone. A dozen for the butcher, drop 'em in the ice. 12 little reasons that the sauce tastes nice. He won't leave the doorway till the count comes clean. Red paint shining in the kitchen steam. A dozen for the butcher, cool a lid down. No guts, no grill, no parade through town. If you want that bonfire, better pay his fee. 12 in the box and no march happy. So we shoulder up rifles, head out past the flags, looking for trouble and unlucky stags. Couple of wolves, maybe one rat's dug herd. Anything with guts and a bad last word. Snow on our cuffs, blood on our boots. Laughing too loud about festival routes. Is that 10, is that 11? No, count that seam. You know he'll scan twice with that butcher beam. Please deposit entrails in the cooler tray. Yeah, big fella, we're on our way. Optimal Fasnacht sausage requires precise mass. You're the only cook we trust with that glass. Sample count insufficient, please acquire more. Every year same speech at the kitchen door. Thank you citizens, celebration depends on you. Well, someone's gotta feed the circuit and the stew. Back to the red, ba-doo, ba-did, do down, do ba-dee, ba-doo, ba-dee, ba-doo, ba-dee, ba-doo, ba-dee, ba-doo, ba-da. Do ba-doo, ba-doo, ba-da. Back to the Red Hotel. Cooler lid yawns wide. Cold mist rising like a winter tide. We drop that 12-piece in a wet red line. Hear the scanner hum like a satisfied spine. Requirement met commencing glee. He rolls from the doorway like he's finally free. Saw a hand whirring as he joins the band, slinging sausage sent through a frozen land. A dozen for the butcher, drop 'em in the ice. 12 little tickets to a night that feels nice. He'll carve and he'll hum in his Red Hotel light, while the marchers go stomping through the Helvetia night. A dozen for the butcher, then the drums will roll. Old Man Winter gets a fire in his coal black soul. In a world gone lean where the snow cuts deep, we feed the butchers cooler so the town can keep. Intestine count complete. Have a very gleeful Fasnacht.
He won't leave the shop till the yard is clean. No beasts on the hives, no claws in the scene. Keep the bees, kill the beasts, then he roll out sunny for the Fasnacht feast. If you want that parade down Helvetia streets, first you keep the bees and you kill the bees. In the honey house glow where the jars shine gold, there's a yellow protectron, calm and cold. Bees in a halo round his metal crown. Sun mask once, now a random face smiles down. Left hand crackles with a stun gun spark. Right hand points to the hives in the dark, warning honey output under attack. He chirps while the bees form a buzzing black cut. Keep the bees, kill the beasts. Yellow bodyguard and all the honeycomb seats. He won't leave the counter, won't join the line till the hives out back are safe and fine. Keep the bees, kill the beasts, then he'll march out bright to the Fasnacht feast. If you want that sun in the winter's face, you gotta clear those monsters from his little place. Step out back where the fence leans low, snow on the ground where the wild weeds grow. Honeybees bellow in a sticky rage, claws in the boards, wings beating the cage. We duck and weave as the stingers fly, lantern light flickers in a sugar white sky. He pipes through the wall in that cheerful tone, please remove threats from the apiary zone. Protecting bees ensures festival delight. Yeah, yeah, we're out here losing blood in the night. Citizen, please maintain hive integrity. How about you trade that stun gun for some armor on me? If bee count drops, morale will fall. Nice to know the insects outdrank us all. Thank you, friend. Production back on track. Just patch our stings when the parade comes back. When the last beast falls and the yard goes still, we limp back in with a half-spent will. He scans the hives with the gentle hum. Bees drift closer like the beat of a drum. Threat level low, commencing cheer. He rolls to the door like a sunburst skier. Out on the street with his buzzing cloud, bright yellow frame in the Fasnacht crowd. Keep the bees, kill the beast. Now he's humming down the line with the rest of the feast. Candle makers glow and the butcher's song, but it's bees make the sweetness last that long. Keep the bees, kill the beast, that's the quiet little deal under Helvetia's feast. In a town half gone where the cold wind bites, we guard one yellow bud and his tiny lights. Apiary secure, happy Fasnacht, citizen.
Face we parade and jerk my fat up a pan. Do a mighty thing in the bus swing, they do more record fast at parade. 20 eggs for Jolly Baker, I'll stack 'em careful by the battered pan. Careful by the battered pan. He won't light the ovens for a Fasnacht feast till you've done your laps through the rain. Joy but send the ticket on the G's, all that's new. Send the job on the fast. Just to jump it like a sailor on flash. Enjoy your life for a ride. Guarding the station like it's still home. He scans the shelves and checks the oven door like the morning rush is lined outside once more.
for jolly.
Jetty eggs for
Step, step, careful by the battered pan.
butter, butter, butter.
You won't light the ovens for a Fasnacht feast till you've done your laps through the rattlers.
George with battle
Play eggs for jolly. Light blue frame in the kitchen glow. You don't sing, you don't dance, but you'll taste his work in every role this town still knows.
So we grab our guns and we head downstream through the swamp grass slick with a rat-soaked sheen. Rat toads croak in the misty reeds, big eyes blinking like they know our needs. We slip and curse in the cold night muds, boots full of water, hands full of blood. We call it festival prep. Somebody jokes, little bread tax paid by the frog-leg folks. Back in the kitchen with the eggs piled high, he scans them once with a mechanical eye. Rattled egg count insufficient still.
Yeah, chef, we'll go back up the hill.
Recipe parameters unmet with duction on hold. Nice to know my swamp rash doesn't count as cold. Ingredient quota satisfied, menu may proceed. See, he cares, he just calls it standard feed. When the 20-year shell hits the dented bowl, he turns to the ovens like he's found his soul. Doors swing open with a rusty sigh. Heat rolls out like a half-remembered sky. We smell that bread, rat toad or not, and the whole town leans on what this robot's got. He won't sing a note, won't clap on the beat, but he'll feed a frozen Helvetia street.
20 eggs for Jolly Baker,
20 eggs for Joe for
one warm night.
by the butter pan.
He won't light the ovens for a Fasnacht feast till you've done your lap through the rattled land.
For the rattle-jottled land,
20 eggs for Jolly Baker,
20 eggs for Jolly.
in the kitchen glow.
So boo-wee-bee-bo,
He don't sing, he don't dance, but you'll taste his work in every role this town still knows.
Fasnacht menu. Approve.
12 stands for the historian, lined up neat along the rail. Each chip mug holds a whisper from a year that learned to fail. He reads their cracks in faded ink, like pages torn in three. And for one more night in Helvetia, he remembers more than we. In the gray old hall by the gazebo's frame, dust on the plaques, half missing names. There's a brown protectron by a crooked stand, glasses from the 50s, map in hand. Once wore a jester mask over that brow, telling jokes no one laughs at now. Welcome to our Fasnacht past. He chimes to a room of echoes and broken times. 12 steins for the historian, lined up neat along the rail. Each chip mug holds a whisper from a year that learned to fail. He reads their cracks in faded ink, like pages torn in three. And for one more night in Helvetia, he remembers more than we. We walk the town with his list in mind, looking for mugs the years didn't find. One from Freya's shelf, rim gone gray. One from a house where the roof gave way. A Stein and honey house, webbed with grime, still faintly stamped with a faded time. We brush off soot and spider thread, raise each cup like a ghost of bread. Back in the quiet of the museum hall, he scans each stein as we set them all. Paintware suggests extended use that year. Guess that means they had more folks and beer. Handle fracture indicates repeated toasts. Sounds like they had more living hosts. Engraving shows increased, parade funding trend means they believed it'd never end. Ceramic glaze degraded by unknown force. We call it bombs, you call it coarse. When the 12th old Stein hits the polished wood, he hums like something understood. Collection complete, heritage intact. In his flat, bright voice, that's a tender fact. He turns from the rail to the museum door, jester mask hanging like it did before. Brown frame rolling through the frosted glass, leading no one's class as the years slip past. 12 steins for the historian, and he'll march out in the snow. Glasses under painted fools, telling things we used to know. He quotes the dates, we hum along, pretend we share his memory. 'Cause for one more night in Helvetia, he remembers more than we. Fasnacht heritage successfully preserved. Thank you for remembering with me.
Logs from merry woodsmen. Oh, stack 'em high by the chapel top. If you want that fire to chase the night, you gotta hear those axes chop, chop, chop. 50 logs from merry woodsmen. Snowflakes fall and the branches drop. No blaze, no burn for old man winter till his count hits 50. Chop, chop, chop. Out by the church on the frozen road stands a green protectron in patrol mode. Plaid cap crooked under giant face, axes where his hands used to trace. He watches the street like a one-bot guard. Snow on his shoulders, stance set hard. Warning, bonfire fuel too low. He says to anyone who tries to go, oh, 50 logs from merry woodsmen. Merry woodsmen. Stack 'em high by the chapel top. If you want that
So we drag our sleds to the tree line's edge, past the broken fence and the buried hedge. Old porches fall for another year's flame. What once was a home feeds the festival game. We pry up planks from a fallen stoop, haul back beams in a tired troop. Call it tradition, someone sighs, trading old walls for a new sunrise. Back at the church in the lantern glow, we drop each bundle in a creaking row. Current fuel reserves still inadequate. Yeah, big fella, the forest took a hit. Bonfire intensity below traditional norms. We're doing our best in these winter storms. Projected warmth now reaches town-wide range. That's code for we might feel a change. Fuel quota met, ceremony may commence. Light it up, woodsman, we've paid our rent. They build up winter in an effigy frame, stuffed with straw and the years-old shame. The woodsman stands like a priest of flame, giant mask grinning with a wooden claim. His axes twitch as the torches rise. Smoke draws lines in the iron skies. He doesn't cheer, doesn't lift a song, just guards the blaze as it roars along. 50 lawful merry woodsmen, now the sparks climb past the steeple cross. Frost pulls back from the gathered crowd as the snowfall takes a little loss. 50 logs for merry woodsmen, every stick is a dead weed drop. We feed the fire, he keeps the watch, and the night falls back to that chop. Chop, chop. Chop, chop. Chop, chop. Chop, chop. Bonfire parameters optimal. Happy Fasnacht, citizens.
Gnome dress the barn for a jubilant decorator. Hang those ribbons, don't you stop. If you want that goblin mask to march, you'll hear his nail gun click, click, pop. Dress the barn for a jubilant decorator. Sky blue frame with a painter's top. No parade lives until the town looks good enough for the parade, enough for the parade of fame. In the red old barn by the workshop door, paint peel thin on the splendored floor. There's sky blue bot in a tilted cap, mustache painted in a careful lap. Sometimes a goblin grins over that face like a jester, judge of the whole darn place. He scans the beams, lets his verdict drop. Decoration level tragic, we'll need objects that dress the barn for a jubilant decorator. Hang those ribbons, don't you stop. If you want that goblin mask to march, you'll hear his nail gun click, click, pop. Dress the barn for a jubilant decorator. Sky blue frame with a painter's top. No pedicentry till love is standing up. There, angle unacceptable guilt. Color clash, a visual guilt. Lantern spacing off by two. Who taught design? It wasn't you. since taste is improvable. At least he didn't say irredeemable. Visual vibrancy now within Fasnacht range. Translation, we finally please the strange. Click, click, pop on a crooked beam. He straightens Fasnacht like a fragile dream. By the time he's done, that barn door shines. Masks like faces in dancing lines. Lanterns toss little circles of gold on boards that creak in air that's cold. He wears in place for a final scan. Touches up color with a practice plan. Then he turns to the street with a little whirl like a stagehand calling places. Girl, dress the barn for jubilant decorator. Now the night has a set to see. From the church to the honey house glow, all roads swing past his gallery. Dress the barn for jubilant decorator. When he nods, the whole town pops, 'cause the parade won't move and the mass won't dance till his nail gun sings that click, click, pop. Stage dressing satisfactory. Helvetia, you may proceed.
One more song for joyous musician on the stand by Fraser's door. If you want that skullmaster to join the line, let his counting reach to 4. One more song for joyous musician, let the old town hum once more. No parade will cross that little bridge till you share his la-da-da-da score.
There's a bandstand square by the old house light, boards worn smooth by a vanished night. On the wooden plank stands a black frame form, massed like a skull in a paper storm. Speakers crackle with a gentle tone, metal throat trying to sound like home. Citizen, please, he calls the square to begin festivities someone share. One more song for Joy's musician on the stand by Fraser's door. If you want that skullmaster to join the line, let his counting reach to 4. One more song for Joy's musician, let the old town hum once more. No parade will cross that little bridge till you share his la-da-da-da score. We trade our guns for a scuffed old horn, a beat-up bass or a drum skin torn. Some grab spoons, some clap bare hands. We stumble up to the waiting stands. He turns his head as the cables shake. Live performance detected, and make no mistake, Fasnacht protocol requires your art. Will I the output from the human heart? Tempo selection at your discretion. Guess that means we're leading this session. Please synchronize with my downbeat cue. Count it off, skull face will follow you. La-da-da pattern, initiate now. Not bad for a bot with no lungs somehow. Citizen participation delightfully high. Feels like the town remembered how to try. His voice rings clear through the winter air, tense, smooth, hopeful, almost a prayer. Candle makers glow through the frosted pane. Beekeepers' bees hum a softer refrain. Jolly baker hears from the kitchen door. Historian sways on the dusty floor. Woodsman's axes tap time on stone. Decorators' banners shake and moan for one small song on a tired stage. All Helvetia steps off its age. One more song for Joy's musician, and the robots fall in line. From the churchyard blaze to the honeyed eaves, every mask moves on the beat in time. One more song for Joy's musician, 'cause a festival dies without its sound. But tonight is la-da-da, keeps time for a half-lost, half-found town. Performance complete. Parade sequence joyfully engaged.
Over on a bridge in Helvetia, calling players to complete Fasnacht tasks and looping a tune that slows as a warning and speeds up during combat. Authentic vintage sound, only on modern production. Trumpet, flute, and violin. 3 arms, 1 screech of he's been told. Top hat keeps it moving. Citizen, don't break the line. You can groan at every bad joke he makes, but Fasnacht runs on his punchline. Candle maker crying for wax again. Baker wants eggs and it's starting to rain. Beekeeper screaming about honeybee scarce. Historians lonely with the Stein-shaped test. Decorations lagging, the barn looks bare. Woodsman says there's not enough wood out there. If you'd like a festival and not a flop, assist your friendly MC. Chop, chop, chop. We roll our eyes, but we still obey, 'cause he's the one who knows the way. Welcome, welcome, slightly radioactive friends. He told that one 3 times again. Don't lose your head, save that for the skull mash. He thinks that's clever, we don't ask. Please refrain from dying during the parade. Nice thought, pal, but we're still afraid. Parade coordination, my greatest delight. Yours and nobody else is alright. His violin hums a cheerful line. Trumpet sneaks in on the 4 and 9. Flute trills out a silly phrase. He's a carnival on these frozen days. Then the little tune spins up once more. 1 more pills from a half-burned score. At first it's bright with a marching feel. Boots in snow, mask glitters steel. But when the monsters crash the lane, the music warps like it's feeling pain. Slows down, bends like a worn-out tape, warning us all there's no escape. Then it snaps to double time in the smoke. He's shouting puns with each bad joke. Faster tempo for the combat phase. We duck and fire through the brass-washed haze till the last piece drops and the cold wind sighs. He dials it back with a practiced ride. Keeps it moving from the first dumb joke to the final cheer. He barks, he begs, he counts us in. Year after rattled, ruined year. Top Hat keeps it moving when the world says why still try. 'Cause as long as he's talking on that bridge, Fasnacht won't quite say goodbye.
festival status successfully conducted. Thank you for your questionable but appreciated enthusiasm.